Dang it, I've been busier than Barney Frank at a Liza Minnelli yard sale.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Yet I've never been to a cabaret. I don't have the shoes, old chum. Anyway, welcome to Intellectual Froglegs. Glad to see both you guys made it back. My friend Dr. Gina, who's one of the politichicks who I adore, she just started her new show this week, and you guys need to check her out. She's broadcasting live weekdays from Planet, California. You know I love Dr. Gina, but the only way I would move to California is if I found out that I was related to Jed Clampett.
Granny, how much they gonna pay him?
All right, I'll tell you. He said it runs somewhere between 25 and 100.
25 and 100?
I know it don't sound like much, but Mr. Brewster seemed to set great store by the fact he's gonna pay me in some new kind of dollars.
There ain't no new kind of dollars.
Well, it's new to me. I've heard of gold dollars, silver dollars, paper dollars, but he said he's gonna pay me in, what do you call them, Granny?
$1 million.
Yeah, that's it.
$1 million?
Well, he wrote the whole thing out on this piece of paper. Here, you can see for yourself. I don't want to talk about that.
See here. Thanks and Harry. Granny, give me the jug.
You know, the primary difference between the left and right in this country is that the right does not want to be lied to by anyone for any reason, not by a politician, and certainly not by a newscaster. The left, on the other hand, they don't care if they're lying or being lied to as long as they win, which falls right in line with Saul Alinsky's philosophy of the end justifies the means. You got order versus chaos. You know, when you have one side that follows rules and one side that does not, guess who wins? But the radical left's turning America into one big cesspool like Chicago. By hook or by crook. Certainly not by the book. Well, you know, once these radical lefties get their godless fangs into something, they don't let go. You gotta pry them loose. It's kind of like trying to take $1 from my Uncle LD's greedy ass. But you know what? And there's no better example than Chicago. This place has been run by Democrats since the early 1930s. And now what do we have? The most violent and the most corrupt city in the United States. And our president's home. That's a coincidence. And then look at the national picture. The number of voter fraud cases from coast to coast are breathtakingly surreal. I mean, you got counties with more voters than residents. And remember all the jokes about Saddam Hussein getting almost 99% of the votes in some places of Iraq? Well, Obama got over 99% of the votes in over 100 precincts in Ohio alone. In Ohio alone? I guess you could say Barack out Hussein to Saddam. And we have total morons working as election officials. Now this chick, a poll worker, she admits to voter fraud.
Yes, I voted twice.
So were these all legal votes in your mind?
Absolutely legal votes. There's absolutely no intent on my part to commit any voter fraud.
She admits to voting twice, but it turns out she probably voted maybe 5 or 6 times. Why is this chick not in jail? Why are people around the country not being frog marched off to jail? You know, when we lose the integrity of our alleged free and fair election system, it's game over. And then we'll all be Bears fans.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you.
It's good to be the king.
Yes, it's good to be the king. Ooh la la, gee, but it's good to be the king. Say it, girl. You can be sure
Why do we allow this? Well, for one, again, the Republicans are worthless. The federal level Republicans won't take action because of some ridiculous agreement they signed with the Democrats in 1982. But the main reason is because we don't have a media. Yep, that's right, I'm back on the media again. The press, as our founding fathers intended, has been hijacked, like everything else in this country, by godless left-wing hacks. And they keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger because conservatives continue to tune in by the millions. We're supposed to be the smart ones. Anyway, back to the voter fraud. Leading up to the election, over in crucial battleground states, there was an actual billboard campaign that warned voters that voter fraud is a felony. It didn't mean, here it is. It didn't mention a party and it didn't mention a candidate. You basically had some good Samaritans hoping for an honest election. Who could possibly be against that? The unions threw a Marxist hissy fit to have these billboards removed. And we're not talking about a union or a couple of unions or some small ones. We're talking about a virtual who's who of unions and radical left-wing groups, spearheaded by the NEA, the largest teachers union in America, those freaks that we send our nation's children to for an education. Then you have the SEIU purple shirt goombas. These guys show up everywhere, don't they? I think I saw them at the church picnic rubbing up the fried chicken lady. You got the AFL-CIO, the United Steelworkers, the American Federation of Teachers, the other big teachers union, La Raza. And you go down the list, and then you find Acorn's old buddy, Project Vote. But this is not newsworthy stuff.
He was in search of an answer, the nature of what we are. He was trying to do it a new way. He was bright as a star, but nobody understood him. His numbers are not the way. He's lost in the deepest enigma that no one's unraveled today, but he knew more than me or you.
These left-wing and union thugs forced Clear Channel to remove these completely legal billboards. And despite their cooperation, these left-wing maggots with their media hitmen, one Wisconsin Now, and the other one, the Griot. Look at this, another tentacle of NBC News. What did they do? Despite their cooperation, they made this law-abiding family's name public. And as a result, the Einhorns, a fine family, became yet another target of a vile left-wing smear campaign. That's what they do, they destroy people.
I must break you.
But here we are again. We're back at the media. And while all of the mainstream media is as crooked as a dog's leg, NBC is like the godfather of this media mob. They're not your friend. But I love Jay Leno. He's so funny, and he tells Obama jokes. Jay Leno is bait, and you are the fish. They pay Jay Leno extraordinarily well to bring in customers, viewers, because he's so charismatic and likable. But for goodness sake, follow the money. Your money. It's Jay Leno's bosses that got $140 billion of our taxpayer dollars. Follow your money. You know what? If you know or if you catch a conservative watching any of the mainstream media mob, hell, take a picture of the big dummy and send it to me and I'll post it on the website.
Less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction.
that's all the time for this tear-jerking episode. I want to thank this month's tunage consultants. Indeed, they were scrolling on the screen earlier. These are some of the enlightened folks that have already joined me over on Facebook. They're an elite group, you know. You're invited to join us. Come on over. And I especially want to thank you guys for being here. Please stop by the website at intellectualfroglegs.com. Sign up for the newsletter. It's basically just show alerts with a side order of awesome. There's also links there to hook up with me over on Facebook and Twitter. And thank you for the Bitchin' PayPal donations. They're delicious. Please share the videos with your friends. Use force if necessary. And keep up those grammatically challenged insults, you liberal bicheros.